Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Crime and Coffee Couple. My name's Allison.
And my name's Mike. We couldn't start this episode off like normal because I forgot to charge the camera for the video that we normally do. So, yeah, I was just like, all right, we'll just go ahead. Because usually I do like the snap, like they do in the movies, like, and action.
Yeah.
With my foot and whatever. But, yeah, this time I just looked at her. I'm like, and she's like, okay. I'm like, yeah, we'll go ahead.
He's just staring at me. I said, don't look at me.
So I looked away and I put down my microphone and I'm like, okay, this is weird and awkward, but I guess she's going to get through it. And you did. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's good to be here. And I'm glad to have you with me.
Oh, good. Yeah. I've been gone for like days.
I know. You were gone for 3 nights, 4 full days.
Yeah.
And I feel like you have missed so much.
A lot has happened here at the Pernecki Crime and Coffee Couple household.
Oh my gosh, I've aged 15 years.
Our poor little puppy went through oral surgery because she had some growth on her gum.
Yeah, that was so stressful.
Couldn't see it just by looking at her, but Allison found it when she was yawning one day, and I guess it got caught on this little growth on her gum.
No, it didn't even that. I was just looking at her and scratching her, and she yawned, and I was like, what the heck? And then, of course, on closer inspection, you could clearly see it. Mm-hmm. So we got her in right away, and then they scheduled her. We had to wait a week for surgery, so, I've been just so nervous and stressed. Of course, we had to do a biopsy of it, and we're just praying for good results.
Yeah, I was worried when I was out of town for work. Just like poor little baby. She's 4.5 pounds or something.
Yeah, she was 5 pounds, and she was, we had to drop her off at 8 a.m. She was there till 3:00. It was a big surgery.
Yeah, sweet little darling.
I know. She's just the sweetest thing. I always tell her, I'm like, you're everything, and you're everything that's good in this world.
And that's literally how she says it, just so you guys know.
I love her so much.
She's our little baby. But poor thing. And then besides that, you had Meet the Teacher Day. Of all weeks for me not to be here, it was horrible. Meet the Teacher for both kids.
The AC went out upstairs.
Oh, yeah. The AC went out upstairs. The hose outside started squirting everywhere.
Wouldn't turn off. I was, and mind you, I'm still working. So I was getting up at on the computer by 4 a.m., working like a psychotic person so that I could rush into work, see my patients, rush home, start charting, get the kids to both of their schools. We're navigating like idiots because I can't look at a map and know what I'm looking at. So we're wandering around these high schools and middle schools. Luckily, the middle school was easy because it's square and my son went there. Our son went there. So he was able to help us. But the high school, forget it.
As smart and as put together as Allison seems, she may as well never put a map in her hands. You may as well have something on hieroglyphics, basically.
I'm offended if you tell me to look at a map and, it's like, okay, give me my GPS that speaks to me.
The worst thing you can say to Allison is go north. She's like, I don't even know where that is.
In
what
Florida, I do. I have a much better sense of direction in Florida because it's an up and down state and you know where the Gulf of Mexico is and the Atlantic Ocean is.
Yeah, you do that in every state.
It's not like that. I don't know. In Illinois, when we lived there, forget it.
Lake Michigan.
No, I don't know where the lake is. I don't know where the lake is. Even now, if you're point to me where Reese's school would be.
Oh God. Being a person with really great direction, Vin, I'm not trying to toot my own horn.
Oh, you're tooting it.
I just happen to know where things are for the most part. And if somebody's like, oh yeah, over there by the Publix or by the grocery store, and they point the opposite direction, in my head, all I hear is no, it's not that way. It's the other way.
And I'm the one pointing in the wrong direction. And what gets me is I swear you do it to me on purpose when we're in the car, you're driving, and all of a sudden we need to make a diverted stop. And you're like, all right, hurry up, find it. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm looking at.
It's not even that. All it is, let's say we're going to point A, and it's find a Starbucks on the route.
It's weird, though. It's always frantic. You always make it frantic.
No, I think in your own brain, everything is frantic. So maybe that's what it is.
You do it to me. I know it.
Yeah, I don't know. But sum it up, it's been a long week for little Allison here. And
it has. And our son is, the poor guy's in 3 hours of football straight to 3 hours of band. Mm-hmm. So, I'm taking him to the high school 17 times a day for Meet the Teacher. Then, it's been madness.
And he's not like a jock and he's not like a band kid. He's in the middle somewhere.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, there's definitely band kids. And I'm like, well, you're a band kid. He's like, well, yeah, but the real band kids. I don't want to hang out with them. And then there's the jocks he thinks are dicks. And then it's
he's right there in the middle.
Yeah, he's got a good friend group, so that's good. But
and then you mentioned an Amazon addiction.
yes, so everybody's been like, Allison, love your Amazon addictions, and God knows we get them every single week. I mean, probably 4 or 5 deliveries.
I don't go shopping, so that is my way of shopping.
Right, and I meant to say somebody commented on Instagram, and they were like, Allison, I'm with you, girl. No shopping, or no, it was one of our reviews on Apple Podcasts. They were like, I'm with you, girl. I hate shopping.
I do. I just hate it.
Yeah.
So it's the True Lime packets. If you've seen them, I hadn't. We were traveling from Florida to Seattle, and when on American Airlines, I asked for a club soda and cranberry juice, and that's what they gave me for my lime. They're like, you want a lime? I was like, wow, that's fancy, a lime on a plane.
Right.
And they gave me this packet of crystallized lime, and it's fantastic because then it's a lot cheaper. Number one, you don't have to cut up a lime and then store the rest of it in your fridge that like ultimately rots away, and then in a week you're throwing it in the garbage. And these packets are on hand whenever you want them. You could just stick them in your purse, desk, whatever.
And you said they're only like $6 for 100 of them?
Yeah, $6.48 for a pack or a box of 100.
So if you like, if you like limes, I mean, it's kind of dumb not to have these, basically.
If you like limes and anything, like we buy San Pellegrino bottles at Costco, and I love those. Last night I opened a bottle and I just sprinkled the lime in there. It was fantastic.
I tried it and it was, I agree, delicious.
Yeah, so highly suggest if you like the flavor of lime, and if you don't, then it won't be for you.
So Allison's Amazon addiction will be linked on our show notes, just so you know. So anything else?
No, I'm ready to do this.
Yeah, me too. And no video, so I'm just going to stare at you the whole time.
It's going to be so friggin' awkward.
Go ahead, baby. Go ahead.
All right.
And you could be naked for all the listeners now.
Yeah, that's what you said. You're like, we could record this naked. No one would know. I'm like, just me, you, and Walter the cat. That's it. And then, God forbid, one of our kids wakes up. I mean, they can't unsee that.
Couple kitties. Nobody wants to see that.
Nobody wants to see this kitty. Speaking of kitties, our kitten. Oh my gosh, he is the cutest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, we'll talk more about him next time.
Yeah. Are you telling me I should get back to business?
Yeah, we're kind of long.
All right, fine. We're getting to business.
All
right. So this is the murder of Madeline Kingsbury. And this is a listener suggestion from Instagram user, basically just myself. So thank you so much. Excuse me. So at approximately 8:20 p.m. on Friday, March 31st, 2023, a missing person report was filed in the Winona Police Department for 26-year-old Madeline or Maddi Jane Kingsbury, and I will call her Maddi moving forward.
Did you say where Winona is?
It's in Minnesota.
Okay.
And I was going to expand on that, but just to let you know, it's Winona, Minnesota. So her friend had reported her missing because she hadn't heard from Maddi all day long. And this was very concerning because it was out of the ordinary, and there's other circumstances that are making them more quickly worried. You might think, oh, well, she may have been busy, she was working, blah, blah, blah. There's reason for them to be this concerned this quickly, and we'll definitely find all of that out.
Okay.
So Katie had gone to Maddie's townhouse on Cary Drive in Winona, Minnesota, but there was no answer when she knocked on the door. Katie informed police that Maddi had been having issues with her on-again, off-again boyfriend.
Oh, God.
And
I'm not going to like this story at all.
This is the father of their 2 children. This is 29-year-old Adam Fravel. And did I mention that Maddi is 26?
No.
All right. So to reiterate, Maddi is 26 and her partner is Adam Fravel. We'll get into more of where they were in the relationship at this point.
And he's 29.
Yes.
Got it.
So Maddi was born on June 1st, 1996, and according to her obituary, she is the baby of her family with an older brother and an older sister. She began talking at a very early age. According to her obituary, she would just follow her family around. She would talk to whoever would listen. I guess she was just like stringing sentences together at age 2.
That's what you always hear about little girls. It's always like just chatterboxes.
Just love to talk. Our daughter was like that in the car ride home last night. It was so sweet. I loved it. So she had a big smile, a big heart. She was smart, loving. She was an amazing mother to her 5-year-old daughter and their 2-year-old son. She graduated from Winona High School, and then she went on to graduate from Winona State University. She was basically just hitting her stride in life. She was in such a great place, not in her romantic relationship, but with where she was otherwise. She was doing well at work. She was thriving with her children.
Well, 26, especially with the kids, you're officially an adult and then some, and you kind of are getting to where you're going. 20s are hard. You're still trying to figure stuff out.
Sure.
30s are really nice. 40s, you're kind of got everything figured out for the most part. But yeah, 26 is a good age.
She was working as a clinical researcher at Mayo Clinic in Rochester. She was loving it. She had started graduate school at the University of Minnesota to pursue her master's degree in public health administration. So obviously a go-getter.
Yeah.
She's working, she's got 2 kids, and she's going back to school. So when officers arrived at Maddi's house, her dark blue minivan was on the driveway. No one answered the door, just like it was when Katie went to the house. There were no lights on inside. Officers spoke with Maddi's dad, who also hadn't spoken with her, which was, again, out of the norm. It sounds like Maddi was connected on a regular basis throughout the day to multiple people, which also, gosh, she must be a multitasker.
Yeah, no kidding.
I text a lot throughout the day. I do not talk on the phone to people. So again, her dad was equally as concerned. When police spoke with Adam, he said he had not heard from Maddi since earlier Friday morning. He said that she was supposed to pick their 2 kids up at school. He did not, or she did not. This is the daycare center. So the plan was after she finished work, she was going to swing on over to the daycare center, and she hadn't shown up. So he went to the daycare center. He got them, and he brought the kids to his parents' house in Mabel, Minnesota, which is about an hour away from where they lived in Winona. So after officers gained entry to the home, eventually, they confirmed that Maddi wasn't there, and at first glance, nothing looked concerning. There was no sign of distress or things turned over, nothing like that. So on April 1st, Maddi's mom and older sister Megan, so this is the next day, because all of this is first going down on Friday, March 31st, that Katie is reporting Maddi missing. So now on to the next day, it's Saturday, April 1st, and Maddi's mom and older sister Megan went to the Winona County PD to report that they still had not heard from Maddi, which was extremely worrisome at this point. So Maddi grew up with her dad, David Kingsbury, and his wife, Kathy, who helped raise Maddi. It sounds like Maddi's mom was also in the picture. They're just I'm not 100% sure about that whole situation.
So David's the dad? Mm-hmm. Okay.
And when I say Maddi's mom, I'm not sure if they're referring to his wife, Kathy, because then she had a second set of parents. Deanna and Krista Neighbors are the wife and wife, or the 2 wives. I'm not sure which of the 2 was her actual mom, but they were definitely involved. So I'm not saying Maddi was not involved with her mom, because that's not the case.
It doesn't matter. They both took care of her.
Yeah. So anyway, she had family on, both sides. Okay. So Megan explained that she had texted Maddi on Friday morning, and Maddi replied in a very typical way at 8:15 a.m. This is the last known contact with Maddi.
So they're trying to put together the timeline.
Yes. So 8:15 a.m. So Maddi had come back from dropping the kids off at daycare, and she was responding to her sister. They were laughing about a photo that Megan had sent the night before from a trip they had taken to Rhode Island together the previous summer.
That's fun.
Megan sent a second text just minutes later at 8:23. This text went unanswered. So we know something happened at or right after 8:15 a.m.
Yeah, I mean, maybe she just got busy and couldn't look at it, but right around that area, especially somebody that usually replies pretty quickly.
Exactly. So Megan and Maddi typically communicated multiple times throughout the day. The lack of response was very concerning. Megan and her mom told officers that Maddi and Adam were in the process of breaking up, but they still lived together at the time. It sounds like, Maddi was trying to get her affairs in order to make the split.
Yeah, and maybe it was nice and being like, well, he's got to find a place to stay. Give him a few days. Yeah, we can make this work for a little bit so you can get out of the house.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
So they said that the first night that Adam did not stay at their shared home on Cary Drive was the night of March 31st, 2023, when Maddi disappeared.
And of course, police, the first thing is like, okay, what's the situation with these guys? And they're like, okay, so they're tumultuous relationship right now.
Away.
And then they're going to look into it further.
So they said that earlier that week, Maddi had talked with Adam about a change in plans that she had, not him, that she had. So this was a big thing that had happened that week. She told Adam that she was not going to move with him. They were going to move closer to Mabel, Minnesota, where his family lived. She's like, I'm not going. I'm staying here in Winona, and I'm going to stay with the kids.
So they had both agreed to this before.
Yes, it sounds like they did.
And now she's like, no.
I'm not doing it.
Okay.
And she said, not changing the kids' daycare. They're going to stay at their current daycare. So this was a big change in what Adam believed to be their plans.
Mm-hmm. It's a big hit kind of when you're just expecting it, and all of a sudden your kids aren't moving with you, and it's like, wait, what are you talking about? We just said yes.
And from my understanding, it sounds like there was custody things where he did not have custody of the kids, so she was able to make that decision.
So probably some background stuff
There
that's not
had
so
to
good.
have been, yes. So she also informed him that she was in the process of apartment hunting, and this was going to be happening soon.
Almost, you wonder if it was on purpose to try to like get rid of him, to make him move out a little bit, which is, whatever people need to do, that's fine. But
she wanted to be done with this.
Yeah.
She wanted to close the book on this part of her life, and you'll find out why, and for very good reason. Adam was also aware of the fact that Maddi was seeing someone else. She had met a man named Spencer Sullivan. It sounded like they met on Tinder in December of 2021. They had recently started talking again. Maddi's mom and Megan also told police that Adam was very emotionally abusive and controlling over Maddi. He insisted that she stop communicating with her new boyfriend while he was around. It sounds like he was just not a pleasant person to be around.
Well, here's the thing. You don't get to tell me who I talk to. You're a person that is my roommate, basically.
Yes.
Right? There's no romantic relationship at that point?
And it sounds like Maddi was just being nice and doing Adam a favor to allow him to stay there, because you'll find out financially she's footing the bill here.
Yeah, I mean, she sounds like a successful woman.
Yeah, so he is extremely controlling, and you'll come to find it's not just emotionally abusive. He is also physically abusing her.
Oh, boy.
He demanded to see any of her text messages that she's exchanging with Spencer.
Man, and she was probably so afraid of him. Like, I don't know about his stature or whatever. Was he a lot
doesn't
bigger?
seem like crazy large, but she's a small girl.
But even so, yeah.
She's 5'4", 135 pounds.
Any man or woman, it's not a good situation.
It's scary. Ugh. And, she's also the mother of 2 children, so she's trying to protect her kids.
Yeah, she's thinking, just gotta get rid of this guy somehow. Oh, he's gonna move. I'm just gonna make it to the end of this, this month or whatever. Ugh, that's so sad.
So Maddi had told her sister that Adam had threatened her in the past. Apparently, he was obsessed with the Gabby Petito case. And he would tell her, if you don't listen, you will end up like Gabby Petito.
Oh, my God. Oh, did she ever tell anybody about that?
Oh, yeah. She told people.
Oh, my God.
And he even admitted in a offhanded way to officers that he would reference the Gabby Petito case.
Oh, man. Once that's happening, it's just like... I couldn't imagine that as the father, hearing that.
I can't.
Like, you're talking about killing my effing daughter?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
I know. It's really sad. And if you listen to true crime podcasts, as I assume you do because you're listening to us, you'll hear a lot of cases that end this way.
And it's, you know what, the good thing is to get the story out. If somebody's talking to you like that, get out of that relationship. It's not normal. Get out.
I know, but the hard part is they say that the most dangerous part of being in an abusive relationship is when you are trying to get out.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what happened here.
Easier said than done.
Of course it is. So. We are not victim blaming. I can't fathom being in Maddi's position. No. And it's sad that she had to be in it. It truly does break my heart that she had to be living this.
Yeah.
Because she seemed like a truly amazing person. So the bigger concern was that Megan and Maddi had made plans for that Saturday. So the plan was that Maddi was going to go to Megan's house near Farmington, Minnesota. It was about a 2-hour drive from what I looked up. Maddi was gonna take her daughter, and they were gonna go to Megan's house, and then Adam was gonna take their son and go stay at his parents' house for the weekend. And the fact that Maddi hadn't touched base with Megan about the plans, like normally on that Friday, they would have been like, okay, so what time are you going to head out? When can I expect you? Yada, yada.
Normal stuff.
None of that happened. And then, of course, Saturday is coming around and there's no sign of Maddi. We know something has happened to her.
And everybody knows right away. It's probably
right away. Hence the reason why at 8 p.m. she was being reported missing, rather than saying, oh, she works at Mayo Clinic. She's got 2 kids. She's probably tied up. Right away.
They're look into this guy right away before he goes away.
100%. They worked very quickly, and I commend them on that.
Yeah.
Both her family and friends. So Megan indicated that they would have, again, absolutely touched base about the details of their weekend plans, paired with the fact that Maddi didn't go to the daycare to pick their kids up. They were obviously and rightfully concerned. So when police spoke with the daycare provider, this is Brooke Pulowski, she said that both Maddi and Adam had dropped the kids off that morning. They arrived in the van that Maddi typically drove. So you would say that this was Maddie's car. Kind of like you and I share cars, but like one's more consistently mine.
Yeah.
So she explained that Maddi was the one that typically picked the kids up at the end of the day, but it was not unheard of if Adam did the picking up. It was whoever was free to do so, but typically Maddi. So she said that Adam arrived at his usual pickup time on Friday.
So like he already knew that he had to pick the kids up.
Yes. So the point is that no one contacted him to say that Maddi hadn't shown up. It would have been around, if not sooner than the time Maddi would have been there.
Okay.
So nothing should have prompted him to go to that daycare to pick his kids up unless he knew something had happened to Maddi, and thus she would have been unable to do that. So
wonderful thing for the detectives to ask Adam.
Huge red flag right there. So Brooke said that when Adam got the kids, they came out and they asked where mommy was. And normally Adam would tell them where mommy was and reassure them, we'll see her. This time that was not the case. He didn't answer the question. Instead, he told them, we are going to Grandma and Grandpa's house.
How do we know this?
Brooke was standing there.
Oh, okay, good.
The daycare provider.
Perfect.
So you know how it is. You gather in the lobby of the daycare.
Yeah.
Our kids were both in daycare, so we're very well versed with that situation. So is our pocketbook. But so Brooke was able to see this interaction and note that it wasn't normal.
Great job, Brooke.
Because again, he would have normally told the kids where Maddi was. And in this case, he just said, we're going to Grandma and Grandpa's house. She found this strange because, again, they'd asked this question in the past, and this wasn't his typical response.
And like you were saying, like these people become like family to you, like, because they're taking care of the biggest thing in your life,
Right.
So you see them and you're like, you're happy to see them and you're happy to see your kids. And so that's great by this girl to pick up on
and
this.
You're talking to them. How were they today? Fill me in, because they're spending more time with your kids during the week than you are.
Yeah, it's sad.
So you do establish that relationship. So Brooke was able to identify things as not being norm, which again is telling. So the daycare surveillance video shows both Maddi and Adam arriving, as Brooke said they did. It was at 8:03 a.m. to drop the kids off. Adam arrived then in the afternoon alone at 4:21 p.m. to pick them up. He was wearing white athletic shoes at drop-off, and then at pickup he was wearing boots. There was no snow on the ground. The temperatures were about 40 degrees that day in Minnesota. Katie, who first reported Maddi missing, explained that her husband Sterling is close friends with Adam. Adam texted with Sterling about Maddi being missing, and it was clear that Adam was frustrated that police got involved so quickly. Not only was he frustrated, he was very surprised. He did not expect it. And you will see in these texts that I'm going to read to you.
I mean, good thing he's a complete idiot and dumbass, because as an abusive a-hole, you got to expect that people are going to be coming at you pretty quickly, stupid.
Right. So Sterling is sharing the screenshots of his conversation with Adam from that Friday, which was March 31st. So at 9:37 p.m., Adam texted Sterling and said, I talked to the police. Who or what prompted you guys to go check at the house? I'm so confused. She hasn't been gone for a day yet, so I'm not freaking out about it, but everyone else is. Then a few minutes later at 9:42, Adam replied or said again, so Katie called the police? So he's obviously trying to figure out how this all began. Mm-hmm. So then at 9:44, he sends another one. She was leaving for Farmington in the morning. And then Sterling replies at 9:45 p.m. Yes, she did. Weird that no one can get a hold of her. And then Adam replies at 9:46. Wow, that's a little out of bounds of Katie. Which, how dare you? This is like one of her best friends. How is that out of bounds? That she's checking on the well-being of her good friend. That's called a friend.
Yeah, it's not out of bounds.
You dick. So then he says, it hasn't even been 24 hours, and I saw her this morning.
It's like you're trying to talk people into like not looking for your
partner.
Yeah, your partner or whatever, your mom's, your kid's mom,
the mother of your kids, which is obviously that is a concern. You're concerned about my partner, the mother of my children. How dare you?
He's so hung up on this 24 hours.
This
thing.
24 hours.
It hasn't been 24 hours. Okay.
Okay, Dick. You know what? We're allowed to do this before 24 hours, and we did.
Yeah, and we know you're responsible.
To your dismay, we did. So then Sterling replies at 9:48 p.m. Not really. No one has heard from her most of the day. Apparently no one has been able to reach you either, or to at least know that you've heard from her. You can't blame people for being worried, man. And then at 10:04, Adam replies, nobody tried to reach me at all until 7 p.m., which was Megan. So I don't know what you mean by that. And then Adam says again at 10:04, I get being worried, but nobody asked me anything. So it's kind of like WTF, LOL. It's like, who's laughing out loud, you jackass? So an officer went back to Maddi and Adam's, I'm saying apartment here. It was like a duplex kind of townhome situation. So he's looking at the exterior of the van, seeing, what he can see. He noted that there was a mud mark on the interior door handle and a muddy palm print on the steering wheel. The rear cargo area was clear of any items. The officer did notice some pieces of garbage that had fallen out of the van. When an officer spoke to Maddi's work supervisor at the Mayo Clinic, they were told that she normally comes into the office on Mondays and Fridays. She had not come in to work that Friday. So IT was able to see that she had logged in the work system at about 7:44 a.m. and had not logged back after it would have timed out when she had left to drop the kids off at daycare. So obviously she got on and then left it and then never got back on again.
And it goes with those timelines that she was texting with her sister.
Yeah, and then when she was seen at the daycare. So we know something probably happened right when they came back to the house after dropping the kids off at daycare that day.
Okay.
An officer spoke to Maddie's friend Lauren, who told them that when Maddie visited her in the hospital 30 days prior, Maddie told her everything is bad with Adam in the house. And if anything happens to me, know that Adam did it. I would never leave my kids. This is what she's telling Lauren.
Oh, that's so sad.
This friend also said that Adam had been, and this is her quote, beating the hell out of her for years.
Oh, my God.
She asked Lauren for advice. When I say she, Maddie asked Lauren for advice on how to escape an abusive relationship. Lauren indicated that Maddie had not reported anything to avoid the children from getting involved. She was just trying to keep it where she could just get out and just cut the ties.
And you make a great point. Like, I have no idea what it's like to be powerless in a physical and emotionally abusive relationship, as a woman or mom or husband, thank God. But, you want to try to keep things together. I totally get that. I totally get that. I can't blame anyone for making the decisions they feel is best for their family.
Right.
And while you can say right or wrong, it's so easy to say get out of it. But the hard part is how. Without hurting anybody or without anything bad happening. Obviously she figured this guy was capable of this kind of crap.
Of course.
And here he is probably responsible for her death, unfortunately. But it's such a tough situation. I'm so sorry to anybody out there that's going through something like this.
Yeah, it's so tragic. And, it makes it hard enough if you're by yourself. But she's got the 2 kids to worry about, which puts it that much more tricky because she's a mama bear. What is a mom's goal? To protect her children.
Yep.
And that's what she was trying to do. So friends indicated that the abuse started after the birth of their second child, which is interesting. Like,
why after the second, not the first? Like, where did it come from?
What happened? So Spencer, who Maddie was seeing and dating, indicated that she had to turn off any kind of tracking on her phone when the 2 of them were hanging out. Otherwise, Adam would text her nonstop. When Adam discovered the relationship, Spencer just said kind of like, I'm out.
I don't blame him. I mean, you don't want to get involved in this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing against Maddi. It's just like, unfortunately, you have this leech that's on you and, well, hopefully we can figure something out.
So that's where, I had said they had just recently started talking again and seeing each other again. Because I think Maddi had assured him, I'm trying to get out of this and put this behind me. And then the 2 of us can move forward normally.
He's moving somewhere else and I'm staying here. So
exactly. So Maddie's friend, Katie, said that Maddie was relieved to finally be with a man that was nice to her. Isn't that so heartbreaking?
The bar is set so low.
It is. Like, he was nice to me.
No offense. I'm sure Spencer's a nice guy, but I'm just like...
But it is. Like, just this, like, what should be. Yeah. And this actually has sparked a lot of conversation that I had with our daughter Reese yesterday over coffee. Just like, you deserve to be treated well by a man. Don't, not to say that this sometimes happens very sneakily. And it sounds like this is what happened to Maddi. Because again, he waited until she was vulnerable. Now she's got 2 kids with this guy. That's when he started to truly start the abuse.
And people change, unfortunately. They might be going through some things and lose a job and then lose like confidence in themselves and then take it out on the person that they, air quotes, love or whatever.
And that was their way of controlling the situation.
Right. And then they feel better. They feel more confident in themselves.
And powerful. And it sounds like that's what this was. So when Spencer learned that Maddi had disappeared, her dad, David Kingsbury, said that he sounded legitimately upset and he was clearly concerned. Adam told police that he was hurt when he found out that Maddi was seeing Spencer, but he claimed that despite their separation, their relationship was cordial. Okay.
But despite what everybody else is saying.
Beating the hell out of her.
Yeah.
So 6 days before Maddi disappeared on March 25th, Maddi texted Spencer, "He knows, I'm sorry." So what she was referring to in that, I'm not entirely sure, but maybe that they were talking again. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
So he asked if she had told him, and Maddi said that she had, because he continued to ask her what was wrong, and she just was constantly lying. She just wanted to live her effing 26-year-old life.
She saw the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes, it was coming to that point where she was going to make the move. Text messages indicated that Maddi and Adam had been going through couples therapy since late 2022 or early 2023. On March 22nd, which was 9 days before she disappeared, Maddi texted her mom that she was committed to therapy and making it work. And when I say making it work, not with the relationship. Because they had 2 children together, they were tied for life.
Not with their romantic relationship.
Not with their romantic. Thank you for that clarification. Because they have to have the logistics of their children, you have to make it work.
Because you have to text each other about picking up the kids, about what's happening, about what school they're going to, about their entire future. You have to have communication.
Yep. Once you have kids with a person, you're tied to them. So she was just wanting to make that, I'm failing to find the good words, but like a productive relationship where they could co-parent together is what I'm trying to say here. So apparently Maddi had insisted they start therapy after a choking incident. The day before Maddi disappeared on March 30th, Maddi got a new iPhone and Adam asked, "What prompted you to stop location sharing?" "Just wondering." "Oh, really? You're just wondering?" So Maddi responded, "I just switched everything to my new phone. I don't know if it's something that would need to be reset or not." Because again, this is her way of starting fresh. She's getting a new phone that this controlling bastard can't track her every move like he has been. So it's her establishing her independence here. And unfortunately, he knew and he wasn't going to have it.
Because of the power. He just wants that power.
He wanted that power.
Ugh.
Police began looking into Adam's financial situation as a possible motive to murder. He was unemployed. He reportedly spent most of his days playing video games. Like, how dare you have 2 children that you're obviously placing in daycare, which is very expensive, and you come home and fire up the Xbox or the PlayStation or whatever the hell? How as an adult do you make that decision? While you're the mother of the children are going off to their job and you're going to sit there and play a video game.
Yeah. I mean, everybody, if anybody that's listened to this podcast long enough knows I like video games, but there's a time and a place, for anything that you want to have a hobby with, but you're responsible for children, man. You, like, as a father, you need to make money to bring in so your kids, like, just provide. I don't care if it's more than Maddi or whatever. Like, just go work and be productive, a member of society, so your kids can see that you're a productive member of society. Right.
And it's like, dude, you're edging on 30 here and you have 2 kids. Like, get your priorities straight. It's beyond me to think about at noon on a Tuesday sitting on a computer playing an Xbox. Meanwhile, your kids are at a daycare they don't have to be at. You're paying for that.
Thank God. I would feel like so guilty. Well, he's not paying for shit. So
no,
he's
not. That's exactly, you're right.
Yeah, he's just sitting there like, oh, well, whenever they come home, I'm just going to, do this Call of Duty all day long, and like a freaking loser, man. It's just so sad.
And bank records show that every deposit into his account during the month of March was from transfers that Maddi had made for him. So he was like a lead weight around her ankles. And on top of it, he has the audacity to be abusive to her.
And she's probably afraid too. So he's probably like, I need $100 for this and this.
And
so she's like,
peace.
Okay, fine. Just like, again, light at the end of the tunnel. This last, I don't care how much it is. She was probably willing to give him $50,000 just to get out of the house.
Out of it. Yeah. So, and the fact that the relationship was ending was clearly going to be distressing to a person like this because he wants to hold the reins. So Adam told police that on that Friday, March 31st, he left their house at 10 a.m. in their van to take some belongings to his parents' house. And perhaps it was in preparation for whatever kind of move was going to happen, because it sounds like that's what he was going to do. He was going to ultimately move an hour away to Mabel, where his parents live. So he said that when he got home, Maddi wasn't there. He said that before he left, Maddi said she was going to do some work in her office downstairs. She was then going to head into the office in Rochester. He said that while he was out, he texted her and she never responded. And I will tell you, he did send some text. I will read them, but we know people do this as a way of a cover up.
Oh, baby, you okay?
I tried to text them.
Yeah. Hey, darling, I haven't heard from
It's
you.
like, yeah, of course they weren't going to respond because you've already done something.
Yeah, you know where they are.
You're doing a cover up at this point. So police indicated that a van matching Maddi's was seen on Country Road 12 and Highway 43 in Winona County, then headed southbound on Highway 43 through the eastern part of Fillmore County. The van had traveled back to Winona on Highway 43 and remained in the driveway of their home from 1:30 p.m. on. So police didn't indicate who was driving this van. I can tell you it's going to be Adam, because I think they were saying that the footage that they got, it wasn't clear who was actually driving it,
Sure.
is my understanding. So then he texted her at 1:33 p.m. saying, "I'm back and my car is still here. You get a ride or something?" What an asshole.
Yeah.
So when police searched the home, they found that Maddie's cell phone was there, her wallet, her ID, her jacket. Again, a person who is leaving is not going to leave without these essential items when you're living in Minnesota and the temperatures are chilly.
A responsible person that has a job and all these
And
things.
2 children that she
Yes.
would never leave.
Right.
You're not going to leave any of these items, most certainly not your children.
Yep.
So the van was searched. It's not clear what was found, if anything. We know there was some muddy prints and markings and such like that, which is concerning because something was done. So when police searched the home, I'm sorry, I already read that. So on April 2nd at 8:29 p.m., police issued an endangered missing person alert for Maddi. They described her as 5'4", weighing 135 pounds. She had brown short hair that had curls. She had hazel eyes. In the meantime, investigators and search teams were canvassing the area to try to obtain any kind of surveillance video that can help to see where Maddi had gone. Police asked all local residents to check their own footage of signs of the 2014 blue Chrysler Town and Country, or check to see if there were any signs of disturbances on their own property. You know, because there are a lot of country areas here where people have property. It's extensive property. A car could pull up and you might not know they're on your property doing something. So they were saying, like, keep your eyes open. Check to see if you see anything suspicious.
Yeah, there's a lot of land out in Minnesota. A lot of lakes. A lot of land.
And they were saying, you know, these suspicious activities would have occurred along Highway 43 between 8 a.m. on March 31st up until about 4 p.m. on April 4th was the window they were asking people to look into.
It's a big window.
It is. Probably more specifically the 8 a.m. on March 31st.
Yeah.
Maddie's brother Stephen came back from being overseas in the military to help search for his sister. On April 4th, it was determined that Maddie's 2 children needed to be placed on a 72-hour hold because of the fact that their mother's whereabouts were unknown and on suspicious circumstances, as well as involuntary circumstances.
What does on hold mean?
On hold means that right now they're trying to figure out what the custody is.
Yeah, so where would they put them?
So I'll talk more about that. They're basically in the state's custody, but allowed to be with, say, family.
Okay, good. Because it would suck to have them in like a facility.
Yeah,
you know?
they don't want to do that. They want the
Somebody's
kids
safe.
to be comfortable. I mean, their mother is missing. If that's not traumatic enough, we want them to be with people they know and love.
So you're not going to be with the guy who's suspected of possibly.
So that
doing
was the
something to your
whole
mom.
point, because we know he went to the daycare at 421 on Friday to get them, and he was going to take them to Grandma and Grandpa's house, which is his parents. So they're trying to get that all sorted out of where they can safely be. So when authorities went to Adam's parents' house to get them, when I say they, I'm not sure how his parents were cooperating, but it sounds like no one in the house was being very cooperative. They would not allow social services to meet with the kids. At one point, Adam brought his 2-year-old son inside. He locked the door. He began shouting expletives. So he was being erratic. he was acting this way right in front of their children. When authorities did get the kids, Adam refused to gather their belongings. He was putting them in the wrong car seats. The kids had to leave with the clothing that was on their back because he refused, which is very telling because you can tell he's not looking out for the greater good of his kids. He's being selfish and only caring about his own self. So it was clear that Maddi had not left the house on foot or in any other car based on police evidence. They know she walked back in after dropping the kids off at daycare. There's nothing to suggest that she left that house. So, they're specifying certain counties to look for her in based on the surveillance footage of where they saw this van driving.
Makes sense.
So again, they're relying on residents to help look at their own outbuildings, their own properties, walk around, look at the perimeter of your property. A lot of people in these situations have like those vehicles that are the all-terrain vehicles. Just drive around your property, see if you see anything.
Yeah.
On April 7th, an emergency protective care for there was a hearing held before a judge in Winona County indicating that the kids were at risk for injury. And, obviously we know that right now he is in a terrible position and he might do something desperate and it might be to harm the kids.
Yeah, you want to make sure you don't wish that you would have done something.
Yeah, so apparently the judge wouldn't issue a decision until April 12th. The kids remained in care of the family members. I'm thinking when they say family members, it was Maddie's dad and his wife, Kathy, is who had the kids at this point.
Yeah.
More than 2,600 volunteers showed up to assist in the search for Maddie over the weekend of April 7th. They covered so much ground that they had to cancel further searches after that because they made far more headway than they anticipated. So many people came together to help find her.
That's great.
Which is so nice.
Yeah.
So police would not release certain information, but they indicated that they remained extremely concerned for her safety. Obviously, at this point, police know that right now they're looking for a body.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's so sad. 12 days had gone by. There was still no sign of Maddi when her family released a statement saying that they were living in a walking nightmare with no respite, forcing themselves to eat, barely sleeping. They indicated that they were private people who had been thrust into the spotlight without warning. They did want everyone to know about Maddi so that she could be reunited with her children. Megan spoke about how her sister is and how bright and kind and hardworking, how giving, and what a wonderful mother she was to her two children. She was someone that never judges anyone and always accepts people for who they are. So Adam also made a statement, and he said that he and his family have faced many accusations and that they had nothing to do with Maddie's disappearance. He had been cooperative with law enforcement. He concluded his statement by saying, "God bless the Kingsbury family and please bring her home safely." Ugh. So meanwhile,
I hope they found something, man. I'm hoping the story goes somewhere, but we'll see.
Meanwhile, on April 9th, which was Easter Sunday, a neighbor living just north of Adam's family's property caught an image from his trail camera. It showed Adam driving a Polaris Ranger UTV through the property.
Adam, for sure?
It was Adam.
Oh,
100%,
nice.
yes.
That's a good camera.
So it showed him on this UTV with a shovel in the bed. It had a timestamp of 4:51 p.m.
Sweet.
He was wearing a dark colored stocking hat, a dark jacket, dark pants, and sunglasses, despite the fact that the trail camera was registering 71 degrees. He was wearing clothing that didn't fit the temperature. Mm-hmm. The next day, a freeze was placed on the Fravel home because of a burning pit that was found. This means that those in the home were to be detained while they await the search warrant. Basically, you need to stay here, you cannot leave. Despite the freeze, Adam took off on the Ranger until he was stopped at 180th Street near Highway 43. They seized the Ranger along with the shovel. They brought in 2 cadaver dogs along to search the 800-acre uninhabited property. The dogs were immediately alerted to the bed of the Polaris Ranger as well as to the spade of the shovel.
Wow.
Yep.
So sad.
So when the property was searched, police did note an area of fresh dirt that appeared to be transported from somewhere else and dumped there.
So they've got to search 800 acres.
It's a lot.
Or 900, whatever it is.
So on April 18th, a neighbor spoke with police. They indicated that on the day that Maddi went missing, they had noticed that her minivan had been backed into the driveway, which was something that he had never seen before.
Those little details definitely add up.
They do. So law enforcement had placed cameras in the driveway of the home to monitor the property. They asked property owners in various counties to place a blue check mark in a visible spot, which indicated that they gave consent for their properties to be searched.
So that if he's running somewhere, you can go ahead, feel free. That's awesome. Good idea.
And again, he might be coming onto somebody else's property to dispose of her remains.
Yeah.
So they would put this blue check mark, hey, you're clear to come here. You can come on my property. I give you permission. And then when the search concluded, they would place a blue ribbon on the mailbox to indicate that that house had already been checked.
Nice.
So they had a really good system going.
It's interesting that something so like, simple and easy is done in like this age, which like everything's digital.
Yes, but it made perfect sense.
Yeah.
And blue was Maddie's favorite color, so that's why they chose that. So a vigil was held on May 5th as family and friends continued to search for Maddi and pray for her safe return. More than 200 people attended. They all wore blue ribbons in her honor. Family encouraged people to place blue light bulbs in and around their homes in honor of her 27th birthday, which was going to be on June 1st. And they called this Light the Way Home for Madeline. Maddie's birthday sadly came and went with no updates. 4 days later, on June 5th, Adam was scheduled to go to trial over the custody of his children, but the trial was canceled after he filed a new petition to gain sole custody, despite the fact that he didn't have custody of the children before Maddi disappeared.
Well, I mean, you can't blame him for trying, I guess, but that's kind of ridiculous.
Like,
the
what
judge would be like,
makes you think?
You're going to walk into the courtroom and the judge can be like, yeah, I don't think so. Case dismissed.
It's like when the mother was alive and well, you didn't have custody. She's gone on like suspicious circumstances. And you honestly think we're going to just let you take care of these two young children?
Side note, are we coming back to the dogs finding anything or no?
We're coming all around.
Okay.
Yeah.
I imagine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as Maddi and Adam's townhouse was more thoroughly searched after a warrant was obtained, because of course they're looking at it initially, they're seeing nothing out of the ordinary, nothing concerning, but on a more thorough search, they did notice that Adam's electronic devices had a great deal of tampering done, and a lot of staging had been, put underway. His phone had been completely wiped. Certain tracking applications and location services were disabled after April 30th, which was the day before Maddi disappeared. Police believe, obviously, this was done because he didn't want them to see where he had gone. Not knowing, of course...
March 30th.
Yeah, Oh, did I say?
Hey, you said April 30th.
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
So the day before
March.
he allegedly did something to Maddi, he shut off all his location services.
He was anticipating what was going to happen. He was taking care of it so that he couldn't be tracked. So thank you for catching that. So remnants of data on Adam's phone had access to a network of these brand of surveillance cameras called Wyze, W-Y-Z-E.
Yeah, very popular.
So they had these surveillance cameras at the townhouse that he shared with Maddi, and as well as their family's home near Mabel. By the time the search warrant was obtained, the police found areas of torn drywall that appeared to have been where the cameras had previously been. He took them all down because obviously what happened at their townhouse. He's clearly going to erase the evidence of what happened inside. So it was clear he had ripped all the cameras down. So he had taken any kind of SD cards. He'd removed them. Adam's parents' home was searched on April 7th. It found a computer tower and a laptop in a dumpster. A burned computer was in a fire pit. So I think that's what they were referring to when they put that freeze on the house.
Okay.
Data extracted from his phone found a web search from March 31st at 6:51 p.m. So that was the evening that Maddi would have gone missing, asking, are dog scratches on the face dangerous? During the search, police learned that Adam had studied computer science. He was very technological and savvy, so he was doing things to try to divert attention from him. And when police had spoken to Adam on April 1st, the day after Maddi went missing, he had very clear 6 fresh scratches on his face and neck. Each was less than an inch in length, and they were all vertical.
I will say that's pretty smart. A lot of times we hear about things that, you get self-incriminating stuff, and this guy is obviously calculated. He's
doing the opposite. He's trying to take these scratches and no, they were from a dog. Yeah. See, I searched. Right. Are they dangerous? Put some Bactine on them, mother effer. 69 days after Maddi disappeared, it was Wednesday, June 7th. It was 1:30 p.m. A Fillmore County deputy was on a remote stretch of Highway 43. A lot happened on Highway 43. Adam was definitely spending time in this area, I should say. So this is just north of Mabel. He was investigating a tip related to electronic evidence. He was checking a wooded area next to a gravel road, and there he found Maddi's body.
Oh.
She was in some brush. The following day, her body was positively identified as belonging to her.
What kind of a tip? Do we
don't know.
Okay.
So this area had been previously searched by law enforcement as well as volunteers, but it was concealed. It was concealed in such a way that it was not visible from the road.
And that's the thing I always think about when there's volunteers. It's like you're trusting that everybody did exactly like everything that they could.
Right. Well, you have to.
And especially exactly. You need to count on people. And it's not that anybody screwed up. It's hard. I mean, you might be walking by her, unfortunately, where she's buried and not even notice.
So it sounds like she wasn't buried, but she was concealed. Her body had been wrapped in a fitted sheet, which was then wrapped with black tape and I think tried to conceal under brush.
Yeah.
The medical examiner found a knotted towel around Maddi's head and neck, and her manner of death was obviously ruled homicide. That evening at 5:20 p.m., Adam was booked into Winona County Jail on probable cause of intentional second-degree murder in relation to Maddi's death.
I mean, you got to figure that they found some DNA on her.
Well, and the fact that whatever electronic data brought that police officer to that spot.
Okay.
So obviously he was led to that location, and that's how he found her, I should say. I'm sorry. So, he was charged with probable cause of intentional second-degree murder in relation to Maddi's death. The property where her body was found did not belong to his family. It was within several minutes of where they lived. Okay. So obviously this is where he was driving his car to that day. This UTV, he was probably further trying to conceal her.
Yep.
So as devastated as Maddi's family obviously was, they were thankful that she was found and that they could get some closure, and then the correct person could face justice in this case.
Punishment,
Absolutely. So 2 days later, on Friday, June 9th, Adam was officially charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder and made his first court appearance via Zoom. His bail was set at $1 million with conditions and $2 million without conditions. Because the Kingsbury family feared that there was some chance that Adam could potentially post this $1 million bail, they filed a motion in court on June 12th to prohibit Adam from having any contact with his children in the event he was able to get out.
You only need to post like a percentage of it. So that's why there's bail bonds, and you can you take a loan out, and if the loan officer thinks that you're not going to fly, then they'll give you the loan, but they make some money on the side.
So at this point in time, he was being allowed supervised visits right before his arrest. So they didn't want him to be able to have legally any ability to contact his children. So at that point, the children remained in Winona County's custody, but they were living with Maddi's parents. If he were to post bail, Adam would be a flight risk for sure. There would be every reason to believe that he would flee with his children.
Yeah.
So this was very necessary.
Maddie's parents had to be like scared.
I'm sure they were terrified.
I mean, they probably had cops there 24 hours a day. Yeah, I would imagine.
They know that they can't help their daughter at this point. She's gone. But now they have her 2 children that are a direct product of their daughter. Yeah. And their life's mission now is to protect them.
Right.
So they were doing everything they could to do so.
And unfortunately, half the responsibility of Adam, or not responsibility, but the reason that they're there is because of that prick.
Mm-hmm. A hearing in the case of Adam has been postponed from July 20th to September 22nd, which will be held at the Winona District Court. He is facing a maximum of 40 years in prison, which I feel is not nearly enough. He's only 29 years old. So, Maddie's family has made a Facebook page for her, and they wrote something that really stood out to me, and it just struck a chord, and it's that love should not hurt. And their whole thing now is to try to raise awareness of people who are in this awful situation of domestic abuse. And so they're really trying to push the National Domestic Violence Hotline, contact somebody if you're in this situation.
Because they're used to this type of thing, and they can do it discreetly.
Yes.
Get you some help.
Very much so. So if you or somebody you know is in a situation like this, please contact the National Domestic Violence Hotline. They could be reached at 1-800-799-7233. It is completely anonymous. They are available to you 24/7. they're not going to give any kind of judgment. They're going to help guide you. They're not going to say you have to do this point. They're going to just help get you into a safe spot and away from this abusive person.
And listen and maybe give some ideas about some of your options.
Yeah, because it's so true that love should never hurt. And that's what I was telling our daughter yesterday. I'm like, you're supposed to be in a partnership with somebody that makes you happy and brings out the best in you. And is it always going to be la-di-da and like peaches and cream? No, sometimes that person's going to annoy the shit out of you. But the fact is that in life, that's they've got your back, not hurting you and bringing you down. So the fact that this happens very often, it's just crushing.
It's currently going on in millions of relationships around the globe, unfortunately.
And that's where, like, when the pandemic was happening, it's like such an eye-opening when they're like, people are stuck now in isolation with their abusers.
Yeah.
Like, that was something that hadn't crossed my mind. And it really, like, broke my heart when I heard that. It's like, I hadn't even thought of that. Mm-hmm. It's so sad. And, on that note, Maddie's dad, David, recalls hearing a phrase long before his daughter was killed, and it struck him as a sad comment on our culture that men are afraid that women will laugh at them. Women are afraid that men will kill them. That's just, brings tears to my eyes. So Maddie was said to have a character based on a foundation of love and respect. She expected the best from others and herself. And the fact that she was put in this relationship is just so heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's just being anybody, whether you're one of her friends that see that she's so driven and successful. And like we've said on some previous podcasts, we've known people that have been women that have been driven, successful, life put together, and they get brought down by some scumbag controlling piece of shit
who sits in his boxers at 3 p.m. on Wednesday and plays his Xbox or whatever the hell he's playing.
Yeah, it's so sad.
And her friend just remembers that she was, a mother who was just amazing. She was a person that would talk for hours. She would sing at the drop of the hat. She had a big smile. She had a big heart. She valued letting others live their lives in a way that made them happy. She made the world a better, healthier place, one recyclable bottle and compost bin or reusable bag at a time. She was just somebody that was going to make a difference in a positive way in this world.
We were just talking about that this morning, how it's so easy to put like bad comments on social media. Mm-hmm. And it's like, if somebody's enjoying themselves and doing something that you don't necessarily like, the reason I was saying it, somebody made fun of a weightlifter that was shaving his legs. Some dude said it. And I was like, hey man, I don't shave my legs, but if this guy likes it and his partner likes it, then great. I hope he loves his life. Why are you coming in here and trying to yuck his yum?
Yeah. And he said, what did he say? Like, no man shaves his legs.
Yeah. No real man shaves his legs.
Yeah, it's like, says who?
Right. And then he said something needed to be said. I'm like, no, it didn't. It absolutely didn't.
And, obviously we post TikToks. I do the posting of them. I certainly do not read any of the comments because I always think of a quote I've heard in the past that your opinion of me is not my business. It's not going to help me. Like, I can't change your opinion of me.
One of our close friends on podcast Till Death Do Us Part, Melissa, she reposted something on Instagram, and once a video goes viral or does really well, it is without a doubt these shitbags come out of the walls and they're like, say something bad. It's like, you took the time to stop your life and tell me how much I suck. If you do that to people, you suck a million times worse.
Well, I always try to not fight back in a negative way because I don't want to put negativity forward when they're coming. So I almost think it's like to kill them with kindness. That to me makes them look like that much more of a jackass.
I'm with Melissa. She goes right back at him. It's pretty funny. Somebody commented on one of our TikToks. They were like, whatever, this girl speaks with a vocal fry.
This girl meaning me.
Yeah. And I was like, I pretend I'm you on there. So everybody on social media, it's me. Allison doesn't look at anything on social media.
I don't want to because, again, your opinion of me isn't my business.
So I go to him. I'm just like, hey, this isn't a vocal fry. This is like accents at the end of her like vocabulary. And like, and by the way, so next time if you're going to tell me something, get it right. And your username sucks. It was like username 12794.
I always just feel it. Again, I know I said it before, but it makes people look that much sillier if you come back with kindness.
Yeah, and you know what? It almost makes them happy if you come at them.
It does.
Yeah, which I get that.
There's this brand called Frownies, a skincare, and I use their products. And the girl who does the posting on social media, it's like the granddaughter of the founder, and she is so sweet. And the haters, oh my gosh, I don't know how this girl can do it. She comes back with nothing but kindness to their nasty remarks. And I find that so admirable.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah, to be who you want others to be.
But the point is that Maddi was the opposite of that. She was just bringing light into the world, kindness. She was accepting people for who they were.
What I was thinking was more Maddies in the world would make it better.
Exactly right. She saw beauty in those that she loved. She wouldn't want them to remain broken. So, her sister is saying that she feels broken. She spoke at her sister's memorial service, and she said she feels like she's broken into a million pieces, and those around her who love her are also broken. But Maddi wouldn't want that. She would want them to put those pieces together and live their lives and to be happy. Maddi's life ended far too soon and in a violent way that couldn't be further from the way that she lived, which is so sad. Well, and I always, I apologize for coming to tears at the end, but it's just so sad that this person could just take somebody like this out of the world.
Don't ever apologize for being a human being. Really, you need to know that that's okay.
I guess you think of newscasters. Imagine if everyone was like blubbering.
We're human beings, and we're not fake newscasters, which are horrible. I mean, I'm
they're
saying,
doing their job.
Yeah, they're doing a great job of what they're supposed to be doing. I'm saying that's not a human being. That's a robot, basically.
And I'm just one of those people that I could watch a Publix grocery store commercial and be weeping.
Or Hallmark. Hallmark makes really good ones.
That's just who I am.
Because it's, grandma isn't with us anymore, and this year isn't going to be the same.
They're creating those commercials to make people sob.
Yeah.
How dare they?
So no apologies at all. And we hope that, if you, can you give that number again? Do you have access to it by chance?
I can. And we can also post it to our show notes.
It'll be on the show notes. Forget it.
Yeah. Because again, they are available 24/7. And I did go to their website, and it's handy because they tell you what the wait time is. And at this point, we're apologizing. It's 15 minutes when you call or text or whatever. But the number is 1-800-799-7233. If you are listening to this and you can relate to this story, we are so sorry that you're in this situation. If somebody is, please, obviously it's dangerous to leave. Again, that is the most dangerous time in an abusive relationship. But they can help guide you so that you can safely try to get out.
Yep. Well, thank you so much for that. And I wanted to say, if you enjoyed what you heard and you appreciate Allison's, humanistic portion, humility, and just being a human being, then we have more episodes available for you through our Patreon. You can go for as little as $5, become a patron and get access to over, I think, 15 to 20 episodes. But if you become a full patron, you will become over 30 episodes. Thank you for letting me finish that one, Allison. So I want to
don't discount our quantity.
Welcome to the Crime and Coffee Couple Club to Michelle, Casey, Linda, Karina, Karen, Stacy, and Brandy. Karen told me that she let me know how to say her name, and she said it's not Karen. So it's like Karen.
It's very pretty.
So Karen, let me know if I got it right.
I hope so.
Thank you. Welcome to the club. And I think some of these are previous patrons, but welcome back.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll welcome you back anytime with open arms. If you want to listen to those bonus episodes or really just support us.
Thanks for supporting this little mom and pop podcast.
Yes, we appreciate the heck out of each and every one of you. Thank you for being here today to listen. And until next time, bye.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.